So now I will start. So a very good morning to all of you. Now we have a question which is given as consider the feedback system shown below, which is subjected to a unit step input. So a step input which is applied here, which is 0 and 1. Okay, so for the time t naught before time t is equal to 0, it was 0 and input is 1. So and the block diagram which is given in the problem, that is having an integrator and proportional controller which is applied here in this controller section. And we have a second order system which is given omega square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega square, and a unity feedback which is shown here with the negative feedback. So it is asked to have the system is stable and the following parameters which is given as kp is equal to 4, ki is equal to 10, omega is equal to 500 radian per second, okay, and zeta is equal to 0.7. It is asked to find the steady state value of z, not a steady state value of the output and not a steady state value of the input. It is asked to have the steady state value of z, and z which is coming from the output of the integrator, that is nothing but z. This is z. So this point is nothing but z. We need to find first of all the transfer function of z. So we will try to calculate z of s. Then after calculating z of s, we will try to find z ss, you can say steady state, which is equal to z you can say z ss of t in time domain, or z ss at, or z of s, z of t, you can say z of t at t tending to infinity, t tending to infinity. Let me take another pen tab. Actually this pen tab is having okay, 1 minute. So we will take z of t, which is at t tending to infinity. So to have z of infinity, so z of infinity will be very difficult to find by in time domain. So we'll try to take in a Laplace domain, and we will find z of s, and after finding z of s, we will take final value theorem. So we can take z of t at t tending to infinity by using the final value theorem, limit, okay, s tending to 0, s into z of s we can take, okay, or otherwise you can say limit t tending to infinity z of t also. That will be zss, okay, z is steady state value. So first of all, I'll try to take z value by having the error as e. So this error can be found out from this r of s, okay, r of s, and this of course cfs we have. So we'll take cfs rfs minus cfs is equal to efs. So what will the equation, what will be the equation? Efs is nothing but rfs minus cfs. So what will be RFS minus CFS? So to have the CFS, we will try to find the CFS value, or we can take, we can find the transfer function of this block. So before finding the transfer function, I will try to solve this k by s and k by p. So this will be added. So we can make k by s plus kp, or kp plus k by s into omega s square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega s plus omega s square, because this will be in cascaded. After solving this parallel, this will be in cascade form. So this will be multiplied to each other. Now you can see this. This is equal to, it is given as omega n square. Okay, so omega, you can take omega n square or omega square also, because it is given as omega square. Now it is solved, and it is found out kp plus k by ki by s into g of s. G of s is nothing but this function. So now to have this transfer function, so transfer function can be calculated. C of s by r of s is nothing but this g of s, or g dash of s, you can say g dash of s divided by 1 plus g dash of s, because h of s is a unity. So this is called unity, so that's why it is unity is multiplied here. So after substituting, we can find CFS by RFS. So we have found out CFS by RFS, and we can substitute GFS anytime. Because GFS is given, we have omega square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega s plus omega square. Now, what is E of S? E of S already we have R of S minus C of S. So this can be found out. R of S we can take common. So this will be 1 minus C of S by R of S. We can substitute C of S by R of S here. And after substituting, we can substitute R of S. R of S is nothing but input with the unit step. So unit step input is nothing but R of S is equal to 1 by S. So this is value is 1 by S. So we have substituted 1 by S value, and we can solve this. So we can take this value in the numerator, okay, and minus this value, so we'll get 1, okay, in the numerator, and this value comes into the denominator. So we can substitute g of s and we can find. So what is the z of s? Z of s, you can see here, z of s is nothing but in this z of s, we can see z of s is nothing but e of s into ki by s. So we have ki by s into e of s. So we have e of s, we just substitute into ki by s. So in this equation, we'll have z of s is equal to ki s into e of s. So this is the equation. So in this equation, we can substitute z of s value. Z of s value is omega square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega s plus omega square. We can take omega n or omega anyone, okay? But they have taken omega n, but you can take omega also, because in the problem it is given as omega. So now, so this is our z of s. We can have zss, so which is limit t tending to infinity, or z of t, or we can take z of t at t equal to infinity or t tending to infinity. So that can be applied by the final value theorem, fbt. Fbt is nothing but limit s tending to 0 s into z of s. That is nothing but, after substituting s is equal to 0, so we'll get ki omega n square divided by omega n square into ki. So ki get cancelled, omega n square omega n square get cancelled, we'll get one value. So this is the answer which is given, okay? Okay, so I hope this problem is very clear to you. So this problem is a type of we have this problem is a type of PI controller. So we can see this is problem which is on PI controller, that is a position controller, and we have an integral controller. So this is integral and this is position controller. So this is the combination of PI controller. Okay. Now we have another problem which is given as a two loop position control system is shown below. So two loop. So two loop, first loop is given this one, and second loop is this one. So two loop position control system is given, and you are asked to find the gain k of the tachometer influences mainly by. So this tachometer gain is nothing but k, and tachometer transfer function is nothing but ks, which was asked in the I think unit 1 quiz. So I was asked to sorry, at that time I asked you to have the problem, in the problem it is given that which one option is correct for the transfer function of tachometer. So there it was, the answer was ks, and here you can see tachometer is ks. So tachometer ks is transfer function of this one tachometer, and now k is the gain of the tachometer. So now it is asked exactly the gain k, which gain k influences in the system. So which one will be influences in the this one? So peak overshoot will be influences, natural frequency of oscillation, phase shift of closed loop transfer function at very low frequency, and phase shift of closed loop transfer function at very high frequency. So you need to check which one is influences. So I would like to say natural frequency won't be changed, but this is my observation, and so natural frequency will not be changed, because natural frequency will be fixed for the particular problem. It does not affect with gain. Okay, so let me check peak overshoot would be changed or not. Peak overshoot, peak overshoot is nothing but mp, and mp is proportional to zeta value. So zeta will be influences by gain. But let me check how it will be influences, and how we can find the influencesness of this one. But directly you can go the option, in the option you can directly find, okay, this value will be changed, peak overshoot. But let me have the solution of this, and to find. So first of all, to have this, you just find out the transfer function of this, and after finding the transfer function, you just find out the zeta value and check the zeta is dependent on k or not. If the zeta is dependent on k, then the answer will be this first one. If zeta is not dependent on k, then you can say no, it does not influences the peak overshoot. Okay, and if omega depend on k, then omega is also the natural frequency will be changes. So let me check. Let me have the value. Okay, and then we will try to check. Okay. So this is the transfer function we'll try to find. So this is the inner loop transfer function which is given here. So we have found out by solving the rule number 4 of the block diagram reduction technique. So that is the minor feedback loop reduction. So that is nothing but 1 divided by s square plus s into 1 plus k. Now, overall transfer function can be written as yfs by rfs, which is nothing but g divided by 1 plus g into h. H is the 1. So we can find, and we can have 1 divided by s square into s square plus k plus 1s plus 1. You can solve this. You just have the solution. This solution will comes out to be this one. So now we can compare with the second order control system. Second order control system is nothing but omega n square divided by transfer function of the second order control system, omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. So omega n is comes out to be 1. So omega n is independent of k. So we cannot say natural frequency is not depend on the k value gain of the tachometer. Now zeta, if we find zeta, so 2 zeta omega n is nothing but k plus 1. So 2 zeta omega n is nothing but k plus 1. This is omega n is equal to 1 radian per second. Okay. So zeta is comes out to be k plus 1 divided by 2 because omega n is equal to 1. So zeta is depend on k value. So if zeta is dependent on k, so we know maximum peak overshoot or MPO is directly proportional to zeta. Indirectly proportional, sorry, directly proportional to zeta. So that can be e to the power minus pi zeta by root under 1 minus zeta square. It may be n pi zeta by root under 1 minus zeta, and depends on the number of overshoot, which overshoot we are taking care. But we are taking generalized maximum peak overshoot. First overshoot we are taking. So overshoot is nothing but e2 minus pi zeta by root under 1 minus pi zeta. And MPU is not in between 0 to 1, for zeta is in between 0 to 1. So now if MPU is proportional to zeta, so zeta is dependent on k. So if k changes, zeta changes, MPU changes. So that's why option will be the peak overshoot. So peak overshoot depends on damping factor zeta, and zeta is proportional to the gain from the equation number 3. So gain. Okay, so hence the answer is gain. Okay, so gain of the tachometer will be changed by the peak overshoot will be changed by gain of the parameter. Okay, gain of the tachometer. So this is the answer. You can go through this. And now the problem which is given as the natural frequency. So if the first option is correct, the first option will be the answer. Now you can have this problem. I hope this problem I have solved in a last to last class. Okay, so this I have dictated you. Okay, so in that we have taken the Ka. Okay, so Ka which is given here. Now this is the DC motor transfer function, which is divided by 10 divided by 1 plus 10s. Now you are asked to find out the that will reduce the time constant of the closed loop control system by 100 times as compared to the open loop control system. We just take a comparison of open loop control system time constant and the closed loop control system time constant. So just have this and try to compare and find out. So we had found out that C will be comes out to be 10. Already we have discussed this problem in the last to last class. So you can go through this problem also. Now we have another problem which is given as see this problem you can see, and this problem is asked in 2015, which is set by IIT Kanpur. Okay, so the position control of DC servo motor is given in the figure. The value of the parameter are KT is equal to 1 Newton meter per A. Okay, so now RA is equal to 1 ohm, and LA is equal to 0.1 Henry, and J is equal to 5 kg meter square, and B is equal to 1 Newton meter per radian per second, and this KB is equal to 1 volt per radian per second. So KT, RA, LA, J, whatever the parameter which is used here, that is given in the problem, and you're asked to find the steady state position response in radians. Okay, steady state position response due to unit impulse disturbances torque TD. So due to disturbances TD, what is the steady state response you are getting at for the unit impulse? Okay, so unit impulse disturbances, it is given TD. So all these value which is given here, you just have this, just try to find out theta s value. Okay, so steady state position response. Okay, so response you need to find theta s. You just try to find theta s value. Okay, so you just take what is the theta s value. So try to solve this this equation and this transfer function. So to find out this transfer function, what is a given? TD is given as a unit impulse. So unit impulse TD is applied. So TD can be taken as a in S domain. So unit impulse means delta T in time domain, and in S domain it will be 1. So in Laplace it will be 1. So we just take TD is 1 and try to find out excess value, excess which is given here. Okay, so excess is given here, excess by TD. So we try to find out, so 1 by js plus b, okay, which is minus td, okay, divided by 1 plus something this value, okay, so 1 by js plus b and ktb divided by ra plus ls. I hope this transfer function method you know very well, so you can go through this. This is the meso system, multiple input and single output system, so you can have this, just try to find out, okay. So to have this TD value, see meso system, I told you, if you are finding with respect to one of the input, so just take another input as a 0. So just take at that time this VA as taken as a 0 and try to find out theta S by TD. So theta S I am not taking, I am just finding out excess by TD. So we can find excess by TD. So we'll take this excess by TD as this one. So this is nothing but this value, and this will come directly with the sign multiplication minus, and this is also multiplied with the okay minus sign, so this will be plus, okay. So that's why you can take, you can see here kb into kt, kb into kt divided by rals plus gs plus b, so that's why it is taken here in the gfs into hfs. And in gfs the forward path gain is nothing but 1 by gs plus b, so that is nothing but 1 by gs plus b, okay. So that is written as here. And why minus sign? Because td is multiplied with the minus sign, that's why it is written as a minus sign here. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. So now we'll try to find theta s. So theta s is nothing but this minus TDS divided by s into something this value, because x of s is nothing but x of s is multiplied with 1 by s. So this x of s by TDS, this is x of s by TDS. If you take this multiplied with 1 by s, you will get theta s by tds, you can find, okay. So directly you can also go through directly, go through this directly also. So just multiply it with 1 by s in the x of s by tds. So we have x of s by tds, and we have just multiplied with this x of s by tds minus sign. So we just take, so if you take theta s by tds, so this s will be multiplied here, so the s extra term will be there and all the term will be same from here, okay. So now TDS is nothing but 1. We have just substituted and we have found out theta s value. So this theta s we have found out, and see why we have went through this one input TDS. We have VA of S we have not taken. See, in the problem VA of S is not given, so we have not taken this value because TDS is given as a impulse disturbances. So impulse, it is given here, input which is given here TD. So we just try to take theta S by TDS and we just find theta S value, okay. So, and with respect to that impulse response, we are just trying to find out, okay. But for MIMO system or meso system, we just take for the both the input and we just add in the response. But here it is given as just find out for the impulse response of disturbances TD, okay. So to have this steady state response, just take the theta tending theta of t. You can take theta of infinity. You know, no, not 0. Theta tending theta of infinity, or you can take theta ss. Okay, theta is steady state. So theta of infinity or limit t tending to infinity. You can say limit t tending to infinity theta of t. Okay, so to apply this, we just take a final value theorem, limit s tending to 0 s into theta s. So limit s tending to 0, this value we can substitute and we just find out this value comes out to be minus 0.5. Okay, so this was a very standard type of problem which was asked in 2015, which is from the KIT Kanpur, and that was a very practical question which is given here. So this is a DC servo motor which is applied here, and DC servo motor position control system which is given. So that was a good question which was asked in 2015. Okay, and that was very new problem. Okay, so that depends on the meso system. Okay, so now one more problem which is set by ISA Bangalore in 2016, which is given as g of s is equal to 1 by s square plus 2s. So it is asked to find the step response of closed loop system should have minimum settling time and have no overshoot. Okay, the required value of gain k to achieve this. So k we need to find out. So, okay, k we need to find out, and it is given as a minimum settling time. We need to have minimum settling time and no overshoot. So overshoot will be 0. So there should not be overshoot. So overshoot is 0 means what will happen? What is mean by overshoot is 0. So overshoot is 0 means that means we should have zeta should be equal to 1. So there should not be overshoot, any overshoot. See, if zeta is in between 0 to 1, the response will be look like this one. Okay, so the response will look like this one. So that means there is overshoot. If zeta is greater than 1, that means overdamped system, and that will be look like this. So that will be again overshoot. So if no overshoot, okay, no overshoot means zeta is equal to 1. Okay, and it is also have the settling time also minimum. See, zeta is equal to 0 is also no overshoot. Zeta is also is undamped system, so there is no overshoot. You can say if it is ranging from maximum value of input is this one, and it is middle one is this one. So we can say if it is a condition in zeta is equal to 0 also, okay, it will overshoot, it will not be overshoot. But if your maximum value is this peak, so we can say no overshoot. But if maximum value is this one, so it may be overshoot. Okay, so it may be first overshoot, undershoot, and overshoot, second overshoot, undershoot, we can say. But to have minimum settling times, that means say it will be settled down also. So minimum settling time will come at, and no overshoot, that will be at zeta is equal to 1. So this is the condition. So minimum settling time and no overshoot, so zeta is equal to 1. So to have this, we just try to find yfs by rfs, and we found out कि yfs by rfs is this one value. So this transfer function we got k divided by s square plus 2s plus k. Now we try to have this zeta value. We try to find out zeta value and compare with the 1 and try to find the k value. So this is very simple problem which is given here. Omega n is equal to root under k. So by comparison, we'll have omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. So that is the thing. Just have this omega n square. 2 zeta omega n is equal to 2 and omega n square is equal to k. So omega n is equal to root under k. Omega n cannot be negative, so this will be root under k, and 2 zeta omega n is equal to 2. So 2 zeta square root of k is equal to 2, and zeta is equal to 1 by root under k, which is equal to 1. So k should be equal to 1. So that is the answer which is given here. A very simple problem which is asked here. Okay. Yeah, I hope this is clear. Now, this is a problem which is asked in ES Triple E branch 1992. This is also a simple type of problem, but you should know what is the characteristic equation of position control system. So if you don't know position control system characteristic equation, you cannot find this solution of this question. So it is asked damping factor and undamped natural frequency. So damping factor is nothing but zeta, and undamped natural frequency is nothing but omega n. Okay, so for the position control system is given by, so position control system, and in the problem nothing is given. It is not given as a mechanical system, it is not given as a pneumatic system, it is not given as any type of system it is given, no. So you just have to check what is given in the problem options. So in the option you can see it is given as a j. J is given, and we have given f, so damper is given, okay, and j is nothing but we have a mass of body, something m you can say. So but in that was in a translational motion, sorry, rotational motion, sorry, translational motion, we have a m. But in rotational motion or rotational mechanical system, there it was a j. So j is given here, j is given. So inertia we can say, so j is given here. Now the characteristic equation is comes out to be js square plus f of s plus k, which is equal to 0. So that is the characteristic equation which is given. So if there is a translation mechanical system, so we can say ms square plus bs or fs plus k, which is equal to 0. So that was the depends on the type of the system. So it is given here. Just take js square plus fs plus k and try to check what is the zeta value and what is the omega n value. So you can easily find by comparison, by comparing with the standard second order characteristic equation. This is s square plus 2 zeta omega n plus omega n square is equal to 0. So this will comes out to be zeta is equal to f divided by square root of 2 root kj, and omega n is equal to square root of k by j. Okay. Now another problem which is given, a consider a system shown in the figure, given figure. So if the system disturbed so that c of 0 is equal to 1, then c of t for unit step input is given by. So now the input is given as a C of t output, and input is given by u of t. So now if you find C of s by u of s, that is nothing but 2 by s. Okay. And C of s is nothing but 2 by s square, because after substituting u of s is equal to u of t is equal to unit step, that is nothing but r of t, which is equal to step input. So you can find this in a Laplace, which is equal to 1 by s. So CFS is nothing but 2 by s square. Now it is given as if the system disturbed so that C of 0 is equal to 1. So C of 0 is equal to 1, then C of t will be. So just have the Laplace inverse of this. CFS is equal to 2 by s square. So if you take Laplace inverse, C of t will become 2t. Now C of t will become 2t. So if we if we take the initial condition also, because Laplace inverse here will not give you the initial condition. If you take initial condition, so C of t is nothing but this Laplace inverse and plus C of 0. So it is given C of t plus C of 0, that is another 2t plus 1. So that is the answer, 2t plus 1, which is given here. Okay. So that is a very simple problem which was asked for ESE. Okay. Now another problem, ESE problem is very easy, but some tricky kind of thing is given. So it is given as if the unit impulse response of a system having transfer function k divided by s plus alpha is shown above. Okay, the value of alpha is, so the value of alpha is, we need to find out. So first of all, CFS by RFS is given as k divided by s plus alpha, and RFS is given as 1. So we can find CFS, and we just have to check the response of the system. So what is the response? CFT will try to find out. So Laplace inverse of CFS, we can take CFS of Laplace inverse. So we can take Laplace inverse of k divided by s plus alpha. So this can be written as k e to the power minus alpha into t. Okay, so we can have k e to the power minus alpha t, and now we can check for t1 and t2 both. Okay, so for t1 and for t2 we can check the value of alpha, we need to find out. So we can find, we having the two equation, we can find the value of t1 and t2. So now the time constant at which the c of t, which is equal to 0.37k. So what is the time constant t1 and what is the time constant t2? So by having this we can find. So c, it is given as c of t is equal to k e to the power minus 1. So what is minus 1? It is given. Why minus 1 it is given? T1, T2 is, it is not given. Okay, so unit impulse response. Okay, so so 0.37k, which is equal to, so now we can say c of t1, which is equal to okay, c of t1 is nothing but 0.7, 0.63k. So c of t1 is nothing but 0.63 k, which is equal to, we can write k e to the power minus alpha into t1 ke jagah we can write okay, t ke jagah t1 we can write. So now what is this? CFT2 is nothing but CFT2 is nothing but 0.37k, which is equal to k e to the power minus alpha t2. Now we can have e to the power minus alpha t1, which is nothing but which is equal to 0.63, and we can have t2, we can have t2, sorry, e to the power minus alpha t2 is nothing but 0.37. So now we know e to the power minus 1, which is equal to 0.37. So we can have, by this analogy, we can find alpha is equal to, or we can find directly alpha in terms of T2. So we can find alpha is equal to 1 by T2. So that is the option from this 0.37. Okay, so that is a very simple problem, which is in terms of T2. So if you are given T1 and T2, you can find also the answer. You can find what is the value of, okay, so what is the value of alpha, or for this problem. This is a simple problem you can find for the, okay, this. Now, which one of the following is steady state error? Another problem which is given. Which one of the following is steady state error of the of a control system with step error? Okay, a ramp error and parabolic error constant, that is a static error coefficient kp, kv, ka, which is given here, kp, kv, ka respectively for the input 1 minus t square 3 u of t. So that is r of t which is given here. So now r of t is nothing but 3 1 minus t square u of t, so we can just multiply 3 u of t. Okay, so minus 3 t square u of t. So we know how this one. So this is 3 u of t is directly we can write 3 by s, but t square by 2 we need to have this Laplace inverse, so we need to have t square by 2 u of t for the ramp. So for the t square for the solving t square by 2. So 2 square by 2 Laplace inverse is nothing but 1 by s cube. So we can write 3 into 2 is a 6 divided by s cube. So we got RFS is equal to 6 divided by s cube. So now we can find steady state error. So steady state error we can find by having limit s tending to 0, RFS s into RFS divided by 1 plus GFS into HFS. So that is nothing but limit s tending to 0, s into RFS divided by 1 plus GFS into RFS we can substitute, and GFS 1 plus GFS we can substitute here. So we have s. So now you can see here this becomes 6 divided by s square plus s square GS. So what is the value? We can take s square as a common, s square is a common. So we can split these two, 3 by s and 6 by s, this one. So so we can substitute. See, we don't know a bit right now. We don't know g of s. Okay, we don't know g of s, so we can have this value as 3 divided by 1 plus 3 divided by 1 plus limit s tending to 0 g of s, because g of s we don't have. Now s tending to 0, s square will become 0. This will be vanished out, and this will become s square into g of s. Right now this will become limit s tending to 0 s square g of s. What is the value? 3 divided by 1 plus kp will get 3 divided by 1 plus kp, and this will become minus 6 divided by ka, because this s square gfs is nothing but accelerating error. So acceleration static error coefficient, and this is the position error coefficient. So this is kp, 3 divided 1 plus kp, and k 6 divided by ka. So that is the option which is given here. Okay, so you can find out. I hope this is clear to you. You can go through very quick way also, directly you can find, because everything is so okay, nothing is given in the problem, that is GFS is not given, only RFS is given. So you can, by saying this, you can find directly also, that is nothing but 3 u of t. Okay, 3 u of t minus 3 t square u of t. So see, directly t square u of t we don't know, but 3 u of t you have, we don't know. But what is the unit step error coefficient? So unit step, if we apply unit step, you know the column, you know the this table. If you know the table, you can find very easily. So that is nothing but ESS for unit step, ESS for ramp input, ESS for so this one, and type of a system for different type of a system which is given. So here it is not given as a what type of system it is. So it depends on the type of the system, but it is not given. So if the type of the system is 0, that will become 1 divided by 1 plus kp. What is the kp? Kp is nothing but this value. So if the kp is not given, kp depends on the infinite value. Kp depends on the kp depends on the equation, that is kp is nothing but limit s tending to limit s tending to 0 gfs into hfs. So that depends on this, and depends on kp value, ess changes. What is the ess for unit step? That is 1 divided by 1 plus kp. So we can directly write 3 divided by 1 plus kp. We can directly write, okay, and minus 3. What is the t square? T square ut we don't know, but t square by 2 u of t we don't, we know for the accelerating or we can say for the acceleration error coefficient. So acceleration we can find okay, so acceleration error coefficient, or we can find for the this one okay. So this can be find out from the input which is applied here. So now this we can write 3 into 1 divided by, okay, so 1 divided by kv, sorry, ka we can find. So okay, so 3 divided by 3 into 1 divided by k into 2 we need to apply, because we just divide by 2 and multiply by 2. So directly from this we can write also. Otherwise you can go through the conventional method, directly we can find ess, and by applying the formula you can go through this. If you know the table, you can go through direct way. Okay, so now this problem is also ESE problem. It is given as a feedback control system with a forward path transfer function GFS is equal to k divided by s plus 5. Okay, so GFS is given k divided by s plus 5. What is the error transfer function WEFS? used for determination of error coefficient. Okay, so what is error transfer function, WEFS? So error transfer function, it is given. Okay, WEFS is nothing but error. That is nothing but we have taken generally EFS for determination of error coefficient. So we just take transfer function of WEFS, transfer function of WEFs, that is nothing but EFS by RFS. So WES by RFS we take, so that is nothing but 1 divided by 1 plus GS. So that is the error value we are getting. Okay, otherwise if you want to find error of WEFS, so we can find WEFS is nothing but WEFS is nothing but RFS divided by 1 plus GFS into HFS, of course, HFS. But HFS is unity, so that's why they have ignored. So this, that is written 1 plus GFS. And GFS already we have K divided by S plus 5. We just substitute here and try to find WEFS by RFS. So that is the transfer function for this. And we can have the transfer function coefficient of this one. Okay. Now one more problem. It is given as in the time domain analysis of feedback control system, which one pair of the following is not correctly matched? So in time domain analysis of feedback control system, which one pair is not correctly matched? Underdamped system minimize the effect of non-linearity. Okay, so what will happen? Underdamped system minimizes the effect of non-linearity. So we cannot say non-linearity of the system will be minimized. No, we cannot say. If the non-linearity in the system, that will be retained, that will be there. Dominant pole transient died out more rapidly. So what is this for dominant pole? Transient died out rapidly. So why it is died out? So we can say dominant pole. Okay, so dominant pole we can say if the pole is dominant. Okay, so dominant pole, that is 5T concept. One pole is located at this one pole is located at 5T, and one pole is located at T. So this is called this pole is called dominant pole, which are having the less time constant, that is called dominant pole. So transient died out more rapidly. The pole that are close to the imaginary axis in the left half of the S plane, okay, so close to the imaginary axis, that is j omega axis, close to the j omega axis. So close to the j omega axis, okay, left half of the S plane give rise to a transient response, and that will decay relatively slow. That will decay relatively slow. Okay, whereas the pole that are far away from the axis relatively to the dominant pole, okay, relative to the dominant pole, correspond to fast decaying time response. So if the pole is located faster and faster, faster and faster, faster and faster, okay, pole located far and far and far. So if the pole is located very far, so that means their transient behavior will be very, 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 very less. If the pole is approaching towards j omega axis, their transient behavior will more come into the picture. Means transient behavior means they will not decay fastly. Okay, they will not decay very fast. Okay, so more responsive, more kind of thing will be there. And now if the pole is located at somewhere here and here, okay, so they're decaying. See, this is the oscillatory kind of thing. But if your pole is like on this way, if the pole is like on this way, so their decaying will be there. Now we can say, we can take few example, like this example and this example we take. See, both are oscillatory in nature, both are underdamped system, or you can say this one is underdamped, this one is also underdamped system. Okay, so one is located at zeta is equal to something, zeta is equal to, or we can say this sigma is equal to something, and j omega is equal to something value. So this will also give you the oscillatory kind of thing, but this will give you oscillatory kind of thing, but that will be decaying in nature. Okay, this is also give you the but decaying in nature. But this at j omega axis, the two poles are located at the complex conjugate of each other, so that will be oscillatory kind of thing. So that would be oscillatory in nature. So omega n is equal to 0. We can say omega n is equal to something value, zeta is equal to 0, undamped system. So for the undamped system, it is located at omega n is equal to this one value. Already we have seen in the okay, one of the lecture in the unit third starting lecture. So if the pole is located far away from the j omega axis, far away from the j omega axis, their died out behavior, they will be died out very fast. Okay, so they're rapidly dying out or rapidly decaying in nature with their time response. If they are approaching towards the j omega axis, their damping will be more, and they will not died out. They will not died out. Okay, so see in this you can say this is on the j omega axis. This is oscillated, not no decaying. Okay, so dominant pole transient died out rapidly if the dominant pole is there. Far away poles to the left half the spleen transient died out more rapidly. Okay, so far away from the left half of the spleen. Okay, so far away from the left half of the spleen, transient died out more rapidly. Okay, so transient died out more rapidly. So this option is also we can say correct. Okay, so we can say far away from the left half of the spleen. Okay, so far away from the, okay, sorry, so see it is given as far away from left half of the spleen. This should be right half of the spleen, then this option is correct. So it is given as far away from left half of the spleen. So left half of the spleen is this one. If the pole is far away from this one, if you are going in this direction, so that means the transit is not died out rapidly. It will more transient behavior will be there. Okay, so that will not died out. A pole near to the left of dominant complex pole and near to zero. Okay, so a pole near to left of the dominant pole, dominant complex pole. So left of the right one, this one, left of this one. So left of dominant pole near to zero. Okay, near a zero, magnitude of transit is small. So okay, magnitude of transit is small, so transient behavior will be less. Okay, a pole near to left of dominant complex pole. Okay, so left of complex and near zero. Okay, near zero. So and a near is zero. So near is zero means a zero somewhere it is located here. Okay, zero is located here. So magnitude of transit is small. Okay, so what is the magnitude of transit is small. See this we can see by checking the root locus thing, and root locus thing we can easily dictate, easily understood this kind of behavior. Okay, but right now we just take the magnitude of transient behavior is not going to small. Okay, in the root locus we can understood this option very correctly if we see the root locus. Okay, now one more problem which is given here. You can see in a fluid flow system whose fluid are mixed in appropriate proportion. Okay, the practical kind of problem which is given here. The fluid flow system, two fluid are mixed in appropriate proportion. So they are mixed, and the concentration at mixing point is y of t, and it reproduce without changes, reproduce without change. So TD second later at the monitoring point as B of t. Okay, so TD point, the monitoring point is B of t. What is the transfer function between B of t and Y of t? Okay, where S is the distance between monitoring point and mixing point. So this problem is very different. Okay, so in a fluid flow system, two fluid are mixed in appropriate proportion. The concentration at mixing point is y of t. So that is nothing but concentration is nothing but y of t. Okay. So and it is produced without change. It is produced without change. TD second later. Okay. Some delay is there. Okay. So TD second later at the monitoring point as as b of t. So monitoring point as b of t. What is the transfer function b of t and y of t? So y of t is nothing but it is given as a b. Okay, so monitoring point initially we have y of t is equal to some, you can say b of t. Okay, so b of t we have. Now if we have this consider mixing y of t and it is produced without change, td second data monitoring point as b of t. Okay, so TD second later monitoring point is B of t. Initially, it was produced without any change. Okay, so initially Y of t was giving with reference to the B of t, but at time TD time later, so there was a delay in B. So function of B we have a delay. So B t minus d. We can take another k. You can say yt is proportional to b of t. To complete the proportionality, we can take k also. We can take k also. Y is equal to kb t minus d. B of t minus d. So if you take b of t minus d, not b into t minus d, b of t minus d. So if you solve this, you can have this. You can take a Laplace transform, and you are asked to find the transfer function. So y of s, which is equal to k into b of s, and we can have a delayed function, so that will become e to the minus tds. So the y of s by b of s is nothing but k into e to the minus tds. So k into e to the minus tds. So k into e to the minus tds. An option it is given as e to the minus tds. So we can just have e to the minus tds. K is not given, so it will become directly e to the minus tds. It's a very different kind of problem which is asked. Okay. Now, one more problem which is given here. When two identical first order system has been cascaded non-interactively, so two identical first order system, okay, so which was asked here, two identical first order system have been cascaded on a non-interactively, okay, interactively. So they are not interacting to each other, okay, and they're cascaded, okay. But the unit step response of the system will be, okay, so unit step response will be the what is the unit step response. So two first order system, we have taken two first order system, cascading of first order system, they are not okay, interacting with the RC, and this is also RC system, and they are without cascading, sorry, without any interaction. So we have taken just amplifier with a gain 1, so there is no changes. So this will become 1 divided by 1 plus RC into S, and 1 divided by 1 plus RC into S. See, if the problem, in the problem it is not given like this, so you can take a block diagram and you can just take 1 divided by 1 plus TS, 1 plus TS or 1 plus TS you can take. So 1 divided by 1 plus TS, 1 plus TS. So same you can take for simplicity, you can take same value. So just take 1 plus TS. See, for understanding it is given this one, but no need to take this kind of figure, but you just go through the two first order system which is cascaded. Okay, so this will be 1 divided by 1 plus TS, okay, whole square. So pole zero diagram above transfer function can be written as this can be two repeated pole and two pole which is repeated. So system is a critically damped, and that is equal zeta is equal to pole zero. So this it is asked to have what kind of okay. So it is also given as a two identical first order system. If they have not given identical, you should take T1 and T2. You should take T1 and T2. Then your answer will be changed. If you take T1 and T2, one is located at this one is located at this one. Then what will happen? You can take these two system, these two location of pole, and you cannot take this is a critically damped system. Okay, this you cannot take directly as a critically damped system. This may be under damped system. Okay, so okay, this depends on the system to system. Okay, so now you have given in the problem two identical first order system. That's why we have taken here 1 by 1 plus ts, 1 by 1 plus ts, and it is given as two repeated pole which is located zeta is equal to 0. So system is critically damping. Now a second order subjected to unit impulse oscillation at its natural frequency. So assertion reason problem which is given here. Let me check what is this. A second order system subjected to unit impulse oscillation at its natural frequency. So impulse input contains frequency from minus infinity to infinity. Okay. So minus infinity to infinity, impulse input contain frequency from. So frequency, total frequency is ranges from minus infinity to infinity. Okay, and a second order system subjected to unit impulse oscillation at its natural frequency. Order system unit impulse input, what is that? We have seen the response characteristic of impulse input, impulse oscillation. See, a step response we have taken for the second order, impulse also we have taken. If delta t is applied, then what will happen? So delta t is applied, then what will happen? So see, it is given as zeta is equal to 0. The second order system subject to unit impulse oscillation at its natural frequency, but it is not always true. So zeta is equal to 0 undamped, and c of t will be undamped like this, marginally a stable system, and that will be like this. Imaginary axis पे ये locate करेगा, that will be located on imaginary axis. Okay, and impulse response will be like this. So this is the impulse response L of delta t, which is equal to 1. So this is the response which is given. Okay, not the delta t, Laplace of delta t. This is the response which is Laplace, not response you can say. The impulse response contain frequency component and frequency response as minus infinity to infinity. So response is having all the value which is coming minus infinity to infinity, all the frequency ranges will be there. But the first option which is given here, okay, a second order system subject to impulse oscillation at its natural frequency. So does it oscillate at natural frequency? It is not exactly, it is not oscillate. It may oscillate, it may not oscillate. Okay. So impulse response contain all the frequency, but oscillation at its natural frequency, but it's not always true. It may be, it may not be. One more problem which is given, a dominant pole of a servo system are located at s equal to minus 2 plus j2. Okay, so this location of the pole which is given s equal to minus 2. Okay, so minus 2 and plus minus j2. So plus minus j2 it is given here, plus minus j2. So minus j2 and sorry j2, and it is given as a plus j2. So omega is nothing but omega n is nothing but 2. Omega is equal to 2. The damping ratio of the system will be, so we need to find zeta value. So what is zeta value? So S is equal to, what is the location of the pole for zeta is in between 0 to 1. So damping ratio, see, so poles are located 2 to sorry, this location. So at this location, what is the damping ratio? Zeta is in between 0 to 1. Zeta is in between 0 to 1. So we know our zeta will be ranges from 0 to 1, not zeta is equal to 1. Zeta is in between 0 to 1. So zeta is in between 0 to 1. So this option, this option, this option are open for us. And this may be zeta is in between 0 to 1. So this may be 0 0.8, 0 0.7, 0 0.7, 0 0.6. We cannot take tukka kind of thing here. So we cannot go through directly any option. We just have to calculate this one. So to have this, what was the second order pole location? So second order pole location, you know, if you solve s something value, so this will comes out to be minus zeta omega n plus minus j omega n square root of 1 minus zeta square. So that was nothing but if I have located in the pole location. So I told you that this was comes out to be minus omega d. This will become minus omega n minus zeta omega n, and this location is called j omega d, j omega d, and this also minus j omega d. That was the location. Omega nothing but omega n root under 1 minus zeta square, and this is called the inverse of the time constant. See, I told you also the time constant will be 1 by zeta omega n, है ना. 1 by zeta omega n is the time constant. So time constant is nothing but 1 by zeta omega n, and I also told you if you take the pole location, take inverse of that, multiply with the minus sign, you will get time constant value. Okay. So from this analogy, we can find we have the pole location s is equal to, what is the value? S is equal to minus 2 plus minus 2j. So that is nothing but minus 2 is nothing but zeta omega n is nothing but okay 2. Okay, zeta omega n, zeta omega n is equal to 2, and we have j omega n, sorry, omega n square root of 1 minus zeta square is nothing but 2. So we can calculate omega n value and zeta value. See, I told you omega n is equal to 2. Why omega n is equal to 2? So this me or this will be, sorry, omega d is equal to 2. Sorry, not omega n. Omega d is equal to 2. Omega d, it is correct. J omega d, j omega minus j omega d. Okay, so this is nothing but omega d is equal to 2. So you can calculate from this equation. So this is your answer. Okay, zeta which comes out to be 0.707, and omega in n is nothing but 2 root 2. Okay. This last problem, you can see unity feedback second order control system is characterized by open loop transfer function gfs is equal to k divided by s into js plus b, and hfs is equal to 1. So j is equal to moment of inertia which is applied here, and b is equal to damping constant, k is equal to system gain. The transient response specification which is not affected by system gain variation is. So already this type of problem we have seen. Okay, so which will not be affected, which will not be affected. Okay, the transient response is specific which is not affected by the system gain. So from gain, which one not affected. So the characteristic equation open loop transfer function is given. We can take the characteristic equation 1 plus GFS into HFS. I will just take S is equal to S square plus B by J into S plus K by J into K by J plus is equal to 0. Already we have seen this type of for the this is for the translation motion. Already we have seen this transfer function. There it was F by J into S plus K by J, which is equal to 0, or you can say JS square plus Fs plus K, which is equal to 0. So that was the equation, characteristic equation for the translational mechanical system. From this we can calculate, from this we can compare S square plus 2 zeta omega n plus omega n square, which is equal to 0, and we can find omega n value and zeta value. So if we take omega n value and zeta value, from this zeta is dependent on K. Okay, zeta is dependent on K, and MP is equal to e to the minus pi zeta by root 1 minus zeta square. So now zeta depends on gain K, so overshoot affected by K. So now we can say overshoot affected by K. Okay, and rise time TR is also equal to minus TR is equal to pi minus theta by omega d, and omega d is also changes, so that will be changes. Now settling time is nothing but we have 4 by zeta omega n, so we can substitute 4 by zeta is nothing but b by 2 square root of K by 1 upon by square root of kj, okay, and omega n is nothing but what is the omega n? Omega n, we got the square root of K by j, so square root of K by j, so we can simply K will get cancelled, and we can write 4 to the 8j by b, we can write 8j by b. So it is not depends on TS, is not depends on K value, so we can directly say it is independent of K, so settling time will not be affected by variation in the gain system gain. Okay, I hope you can calculate peak to time to peak overshoot also. So that is nothing but TP. TP you can calculate. This is settling time TS. This is rise time TR, and my pi minus. Okay, so pi minus. Okay, pi minus 5 by omega d. Also we can see phi is equal to tan inverse of square root of 1 minus zeta square by zeta. Okay, you can calculate from that. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. I have uploaded this PDF. You can go through this PDF. Okay, you can go through this PDF. So now what should we do? Now what we can do? Can we have few problems which is based on the third unit only? Can we take few problems, or we can wrap up? Anyone, please? Can we take few problems? No response. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So no response. Can we take few problems? You people are not
No, sir.
responding. No, sir. Okay. Straightforward. No, sir. Huh? Okay. Okay. So tomorrow test time will be in the afternoon session. Afternoon, do you have class? At which time, or which session you are free? Let me know at which time you are free.
Sir, fourth में sir.
Fourth may not possible. Yeah. I want to take in the afternoon session. Please take 3 or 3:30.
तो 3:30 और 4 के बीच में ले सकते हैं.
3:30,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah, 3:30 it would be okay. 3:30 it is good. So can we take 3:30? Huh? Because in the morning session we are busy, so that's why I can't. I'll not be able to take. Okay, so in the afternoon, yeah, in the afternoon session, 3:30 we can go through the quiz. Okay, we can take quiz.